Hi everyone, in today's video we will see how you can create a simple countdown for new year. So here's the application that we will be building today. So we will be showing how many days are left, how many hours, how many minutes and how many seconds are left for the upcoming new year. And in this case we will be using HTML, CSS, JavaScript and React. So now let's start. So now I am in my VS Code and I have created a blank React application using Vite and I have started the local server. So first of all, what I have to do is that we have to create 4 state that will basically track how many days, how many minutes, how many hours and seconds are left. So first of all, I will create those 4 states. So we have created 4 states. Now we will create the basic structure of our application. Okay, so we have created the basic structure of the application. So we are just showing the how many days, hours and all those things in this fashion. And also we'll be assigning some class name here. And here we'll be pasting some styling for those classes. So we have different classes like timer container, timer item, value and label. So and we have just added some styling for those classes and now our application looks quite good. So now we'll be going ahead with the implementation part. So the next thing that we have to do is that we have to know the what is the next year. So for that, first I will create a variable for today's date. And now using that we can calculate the next year. So I'll create a variable called next year. Now this today's date has a function called get full year, which we can use +1, and that will give us the next year. So we can use the variable here. So yeah, it is showing us the next year, which is 2024 as of today. Now the next thing is that what will be our the first date of the the next year. So currently I'm recording this video as 15 December 2023. So for me the next year will be 2024. I want to create a date using the first day of the next year. In my case it will be 1st January of 2024. So let's create a date for that. So here we are using this next year variable, and this function it creates a date using the first day of the year. So this variable creates a date with the first day of the year and the time will be 12 o'clock at midnight. Now the next step is we have to calculate the how many time is left between today's date and the first day of the next year. So that thing we will do here, but before that we will be using useEffect hook, and we will be using the setInterval function here. So now here let's calculate the time, how many time is left between the today's date and new year. So here we will be getting the time difference between two date, and this time difference will be in millisecond. So basically here we are calculating the time difference of first day of the new year and today's date. These two, this thing and this thing. We are calculating the time difference between these two. So we have the time difference in millisecond. Now whatever time is remaining, we have to convert that millisecond time into different format, like we have to convert that into days, hours, minutes and seconds. So we'll be using this formula. So we have this formula which will be converting that entire time remaining into different format, like how many days, how many hours, how many minutes and seconds. So this is the formula that we'll be using. And now what we can do is that we can just set this value to our state. So let's do that. And I made a mistake here. So here we will not be using the next year. Instead we have to use the date format. So we'll be using this next year date format here. Now what we have to do is that we have this logic. So we have to put this logic this entire thing inside the set interval part. So we'll do that, and we have kept the set interval as 1 second. Okay, so I think it looks good. So but we are seeing some flickering issue, and I think that's because we have to clear the interval as well. So rest clear the interval as well, and here we'll just put the interval ID, but it's still not gone. That issue is still there. So what we can do is that we can create a new instance of the today's date here inside this. Now if we refresh the screen, yeah, so now it is, I think it's working fine. So yeah, I think it's pretty much done. So just to give you an overview, what we did is that we have, first of all, we have created 4 states using the different days to track the days, hours, minutes and seconds. And after that we have calculated the next year, and we have created a next year date using that next year. And now inside the we have use effect, we have used one set interval, and then we are checking how many times are left between the first day of the new year and the today's date. That thing you are getting here, time remaining, and we are getting this in millisecond. So we are here, we are getting the time difference in milliseconds, and then using this formula we are calculating days, hours, minutes and seconds, and then we are just setting those value in the state, and at the end we have to clear the interval as well. So if you refresh the screen, so I think yeah, it is working, and we can see the countdown is decreasing by 1 second. I hope this video was useful to you. If you still have any questions or any suggestions, please feel free to comment down below. Thanks for watching.